This is a game that frustrates a ton of Raptor fans. Why? Because the game was kind of taken out of their hands early in the second quarter. We'll get to that in a little bit. But right out of the gate, the Raptors didn't look very good. You know, they had a very sluggish first quarter, didn't shoot the ball well. Washington shot the ball very well. And the Raptors were down 32-17 at the end of the first. Down 15 after one. You score a measly 17 and you give up 32. Not a good quarter at all. Now, we move to 4 minutes in to the second quarter. Kyle Lowry doesn't like a call. It looks like, from what I could kind of pick up, I guess, Kyle, it looks like he said, you know, that's not an effing call. Is that a technical? Yeah. So they give him a T. And then what does the very young referee decide to do? Kick Kyle Lowry out of the game. Look, I understand John Wall is not in the lineup for the Washington Wizards, but it's not like you have to change the game to make it even or something. There's no reason to throw Kyle out. Was the reason for a technical? Yeah, there probably was. Was there any little reason to throw him out? Not in the chance. But he gives him the boot. And Air Canada Center give it to him. Dwayne Casey giving it to him. Every right to do so. Because he really doesn't do anything and the guy throws him out of the game. I can't imagine what that referee was thinking. Oh, I don't want this guy talking to me all game, so I'll just throw him out right now. Like, I don't even understand it. It just dumbfounds me. I can't put two and two together about what was going through his mind at that moment. However, they don't have John Wall. We don't have Kyle Lowry. So, you got to find ways to win. Now, the Raptors were, they lost the second quarter by 30-29, so they were stuck by 16 at half. Now, the Raptors do a great job in the third quarter, scoring the ball and playing defense. 30-22 was the third quarter score. Raptors only down 8 heading into the fourth quarter, but can't score down the stretch. You only score 20, you lose 107-96. Now, as much as I'm upset about the ref in that game, because it's brutal, the story in this game, the Raptors starters can't shoot the ball, and the Raptors bench, they can. Let's walk through this. Norman Powell, one of the only starters on this team that actually shot a plus 50% shooting. He shot 7 of 13 for 53%. He only knocked down 1 of 4 from 3, and he was a perfect 4 of 4 from the line. Serge Ibaka, I mean, I don't know what he was thinking again today. 7 points, 10 boards, 2 of 8 shooting, 2 of 6 from 3. Bottom line, both his shots from 3 were in. He was 0 of 6 from 2-point range, and was 1 of 2 from the free throw line. JV, only 19 minutes, 6 points, 3 boards on 3 of 4 shooting. Kyle Lowry, even though he left that game and got kicked out, he was 0 of 4. He knocked down both threes. You know, he wasn't really that much of an impact early on in that game. DeMar DeRozan, he finished up with 26. However, only shot 8 of 21 for 38% and missed all 5 threes he took. That's more like DeMar than what we're used to. Now let's go to the bench. DeLon Wright in 27 minutes, 11 points, 3 boards, 4 assists on 5 of 7 shooting, 71% for DeLon Wright. Freddie VanVleet in 20 minutes, 10 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, 5 of 7 shooting for 71%. And DeLon Wright was 1 of 1 from 3. Freddie missed his only 3 he took. Siakam, 7 points, 5 boards, 3 of 4 shooting for 75%. Lucas Nogueira, 6 points in his limited time. 3 of 4 shooting, 75%. OG missed both shots he took. CJ Miles coming back after, you know, what we saw late. You know, we obviously, he didn't play in the last game because he was feeling ill. I understand that. Comes back today in 13 minutes. Does not get a point. Misses all 5 shots he takes. Missed all 3 threes he took. I mean, he was awful. But you look at guys like Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, even Nogueira and DeLon Wright. Those guys combined were no lower than 70% shooting. And why Lucas Nogueira only plays 14 minutes, Siakam 16. I mean, you look at guys like that, right? We thought coming into this season, we're like, okay, the starters are going to do their thing. We just want to see the bench guys perform. It might be tricky because they're going to be young guys, but let's see what we can do. Today, it was the total opposite. The bench does all the work, does very good job shooting the basketball, and the starters, like other than Norman Powell, can't shoot over 50%. Can't even shoot 40%. It's brutal. The Raptors as a team shot 46%. Again, like I said, most of that was your, well, not most of it, but some of that was your bench guys. And again, like we said last video, the Raptors shot a lot of threes and made 11 threes. And they were on point. They were knocking them down and that they were feeling good. But today, a different story. You only make 5. You're 5 of 24 to 21%. No good. And also, something we're not used to seeing, 17 of 27 from the free throw line, 63%. We're used to seeing this team up near 80. They missed 10 free throws in this game, out-rebounded by 10, 17 assists in this game. It's just, they couldn't execute when they had their chances. That was the problem again today. You look at what this team can do. Now, the absence of Kyle Lowry, was it imminent? Yes, it definitely was. But you needed VanVleet and you needed DeLon Wright to step it up and do their job, and they did. But you didn't have that threat in Kyle Lowry late in the game when you needed a couple big threes. You didn't have him there. But, like I said, the story in this game, your starters can't shoot well enough, and your bench does, but that's just not good enough, as you can't really do much. Bradley Beal without John Wall, I mean, he has to step up. And what does he do? He fires up 38 on the Raptors on 16 of 26 shooting, 61%. That one player did a very good job. And, Otto Porter with 19 on good shooting. They shot, 47% and 48% from 3. They knocked down 11 threes. That's the difference in this game. 3-point shooting. If you look, you can look at all kinds of other stats and say, well, you know what? This starter did better than this guy. And all. Bottom line, they knocked down 6 more threes than we did. On 1 less attempt. That's the way it was today. And it sucks. And I'm really upset with this referee for firing Kyle Lowry out of the game, because Kyle Lowry's clutch down the stretch. He could have taken over that third quarter and fourth quarter maybe, but instead you don't give him that option. And even the second quarter he's gone 4 minutes in. But that kind of decided the game, as the Raptors showed a little fight, but they didn't have enough in them. All right, so I want to know what you guys have to say about really everything. What have you guys thought about the starting lineup? Do you think that any changes need to be made? Do you think any of the bench guys need to get more time? What do you think about this Raptors team about firing up a ton of threes? What do you think they need to do moving forward? What'd you think of the ejection by Lowry? I want to hear everything you guys got to say about this game, because it's brutal. I mean, it's actually sad to watch this team be so inconsistent. Like I said, knock down, be really awful from 3 for the first, 7 games or 6 games or whatever. And then yesterday, or last game, knocked down 11. And then today, 5. It's inconsistency that's killing it. Now, the ejection of Kyle Lowry didn't help that, but let me know what you guys think. That's what I want to hear from you guys, all right? All that stuff I mentioned, all right? So, hey, that's going to do it for this one, you guys. If you guys enjoyed this video and you guys are as frustrated about this game as I am, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys think of the game. Again, like I said, answer all those questions I mentioned a little bit ago, because I want to hear everything you guys have to say about this performance. I'm just going to leave it at that. And we'll talk to you guys. I mean, it'll be shortly. I'm just going to look it up here because I completely forgot. Tomorrow, Leafs edition, as Vegas comes to the Air Canada Center. Leafs need to just wake the heck up, as well as the Raptors. So it's both teams are killing me right now. And also, like we haven't talked about it yet, but we'll talk to you guys Raptors edition as they stay at home to take on the Chicago Bulls. This is a game you want bad because they're 2-6 and they're bad. You've got to beat them. No question about it. All right, so we'll talk to you guys then, hoping for, hoping for a nice victory from the Raptors and a win they darn well need. I'll talk to you guys then.